There's a phrase in recovery that I know you know so well. It's intellect over emotion. A lot of people are emotion driven. If we can learn to live intellectually and use our minds to think logically, we can function better as human beings instead of being emotionally driven, which causes us to do dumb things. It's causing me to do a lot of dumb things in my life. This has been 7 days ongoing. This will be the last time I talk about it. We had some fun, had some laughs, met some new people. I wouldn't have done it any different. We knew kind of what was going on all along. I'm not going to rehash all that and go through it all. You guys know what happened. Thank you to my subscribers. Thank you to the people that were interested in this and that reached out after it happened and said, hey, we kind of wondered as well. Thanks for the proof on what happened. The kid told me last night that he was going to release a video today at 3 p.m. that was going to cause us to lose our house. I told him he was a liar. That he didn't have anything and that there was actually nothing anyone could ever do that could actually impact our lives, especially cause us to lose our house. And then I just cut communication with him. It's just continued lies and attempted scare tactics that don't scare me. I don't know why he thinks these things scare me. They never have. I wake up to go to work. As I'm at work, I get all these text messages from people. I guess he released a video apologizing and all these things. And I went ahead and watched it. I don't typically sit down and watch long videos because they don't keep my attention. But I tried to watch that one the best I could. Here's the problem. You say, I'm sorry for doing the following things. That's great. But when you blame other people for your behavior, you just discredited the apology you just made. You sat there and apologized to everybody, but you blamed it on Sconie. Where is that? Where are you accepting responsibility? Sconie made me do it? That's like saying rock and roll made me do it. That makes no sense. Look, this undercover lie that you have held on to this whole time, I still don't believe it. As you can tell from your comment section, no one does. It's not true. In fact, a week ago, I told you you were going to try to keep doing this. You were going to continue to talk about wanting to be the hero, doing it for everyone else, and trying to play the role of an undercover. I know you think that this is a secret agent movie. It's not. There's a guy on the internet that a lot of us don't like. He's asking for money from people and lying about it in the process. We don't like him. We don't trust him. We've taken some action to try to meddle with his process. Yes, you were involved with that. The problem is we have proof that you worked directly for him and through him. Had you been working undercover, you wouldn't have taken certain actions. You would have reported those actions back to the people that they were against. So I see what you're trying to do. I told you you were going to do this all along. Every video I pretty much mentioned it. This undercover thing's not going to work. I'm not the only one. A lot of people have been pointing this out. A lot of people noticed it. That you tried to implement this little undercover thing all along. If you're sincere in your apology, that's great. I know you're never going to apologize to us. That's fine. I don't care. I get it. I find it interesting, though, that everything you do, you're basically saying you were controlled by someone else. So who's in control now? Who's calling the shots for you now? I would say it's kind of obvious. In fact, people pointed that out to me before I even had to look. It was obvious last night. It was obvious this morning. The comment section makes it obvious who's calling the shots. You said things in the video that made it obvious who's calling the shots. Have you ever actually done things on your own? See, I think why you do this is because when things screw up, you can blame someone else. Because that's what you've done all along. When things go bad, you blame someone else. You blame Sarah, which was actually me. You blame Sconie. When are you going to take responsibility? Yeah, you said you're sorry. But what does that actually mean when you're saying it's someone else's fault? That's not accepting personal responsibility. That's blaming. Since you're a secret agent or undercover or whatever, I'm going to use a term that you guys use. It's called plausible deniability. And one of the key things you do with implausible deniability is shift blame. It's what you've always done. This whole time, shift blame onto someone else. When people called you a liar, you would try to say they were liars. As you're apologizing in this video, it's actually someone else's fault according to you. Sconie made me do it. No. No. I don't believe that. The truth is, this isn't that big of a deal. You got caught lying. You got caught acting as me. That's why we did this. I would hope anyone who sees this would have done the same, regardless of the impact. You've been caught lying all along. Once we had documented proof of your lies, we showed it to people. Because they needed to see the truth about what you do when no one's looking. Now, are you going to do this in the future? That's up to you. I don't know. You keep saying, I do all these things, prove it. You've had this whole time to prove it, yet you have nothing. You did a video where you say that I'm a child counselor and a registered sex offender in the same sentence. So you expect people to believe that they let sex offenders be child counselors. Is all you do is lying? You expect people to believe that. So a school is gonna, first of all, do you think schools let felons work there? I've admitted numerous times I'm a convicted felon. Second of all, you really think they would have a registered sex offender counseling kids? That's what we mean by your lies are so outlandish that no one can believe you. You live in this country. You know that every state has their own tracking system for sex offenders. If I was a sex offender, you would be able to prove that through Google. Prove what you're saying. Also, I need you to find where I said I work with children. I have never said that, mostly because I've never worked with children. Once again, I'm a convicted felon. Twice convicted. I'm what they call a 2-time state failure. Never worked with kids. That is something you completely fabricated. You literally said in the same sentence that I'm a pedophile that's a guidance counselor. It's bizarre, and the lies are so bizarre that it does not make sense. You're just barking up a tree that doesn't even exist. And if I am these things, prove it. Prove it. Simple as that. You're not going to be able to because it doesn't exist. You really think if I was a sex offender, I'd be on here talking trash? Talking to Sconie, making fun of him? Don't you think he would have pointed that out? You know how many times he's Googled me and tried to say all this crap about me? Nice try. Not gonna work. So, ultimately what I'm trying to say is there won't be any more videos. Like you said, maybe you had some fun. Maybe it was entertaining for some folks. A week ago, you started this whole thing of texting us and making videos and all this stuff, calling us these names. Yet you say we're cyberbullying. I never said your name. I never even made a play on your name. So how we could be cyberbullying, I don't know. Never even alluded to your name. Now, some people definitely know who I'm talking about. That's easy. But this all started with you acting as if you were me. I wasn't mad then. I'm not mad now. I'm not a person who carries grudges. If I carried a grudge on this, I would be talking very differently. Trust and believe. You're saying we fed you information on another group in Buffalo? I want to direct your attention to the original email that Sconie gave you, where he gave you the information on them. You already had that information when I got to you. I also want to remind you, we didn't release every email. We released the emails that we felt need to be released. We won't be releasing other emails. Some people have them as proof. So trying to say, we fed you information on so-and-so, you already had that information. I told him that because it was true. I'm telling you that because you know it's true. You said you're ready to be honest. There's your test. We'll find out, won't we? How bad do you want it? But, based on your attitude toward us, I'm assuming you'll continue to say we're liars and backstabbers and all. That's fine. You've got proof from quite a few people in the community of what they already know. And let me say this, because this is what's most important. If we're really all doing this to get Sconie, then let's do that. No, we're probably not going to be best friends and hanging out and talking. But I think this side of the internet is big enough for the both of us. If I see you in a comment section and you see me in a comment section, we ain't got to say nothing to each other. And if you know the account I use when I'm making fun of Sconie, and I know the account you used to use, if those meet, hey, it's just like before, pal. I'm never, ever gonna tell anyone who they should like or not like, who they should hang out with or not hang out with. That's not how I roll. If I have done that, please show me. Please show me where I've done that. You won't find it. Because it doesn't exist. Mostly because I don't care. Now, if you're messing with Sconie and running with him and working with him, that's a little different. I will expose that. And I will speak on that. But in terms of saying, oh, I don't like this person, so you shouldn't either, you'll never see me do that. Sure, I've got plenty of opinions on people, but do I have proof? That's for me to know. In closing, this was never that big of a deal. It's been 7 days. In those 7 days, yeah, you said a lot. You started with threatening me with your local police, then it was your state police, then you said that the federal government was coming to get me, that you were coming to break my jaw, then it was your cousin in Cincinnati was coming to beat me up, then you and Jayhawk were coming to beat me up. No one ever showed up. In fact, I don't think you ever even left your apartment or whatever. Those are, I guess, what you would call scare tactics. I was never once nervous about anything. Barking over the internet has never scared me. I just point it out. And I call it out because it's fake. Until you can swing at me on my front porch, you have nothing. I think the reason you and some of the others do that is you know most likely we'll never see each other in person. I'm guessing it makes you feel tough. I don't have any need to make myself feel tough. I am not a big tough guy that's just going to start fighting people at the gas station. I'm not some crazy guy that just starts swinging on people. But I can defend myself. I do not believe you can whip me. So, at any point when you say you're coming to fight me, does not scare me. I wasn't even really entertained or shocked. It was just kind of strange. It's kind of like you saying that you called the NAACP and Jesse Jackson picked up. It's the same kind of behavior. What I'm getting at, man, is I'm not going to be doing any more videos. This has become old and boring. I cannot believe how much time I invested into this. I'm lightweight embarrassed at how much time I invested into this. So you're not going to be seeing any more of me talking about you. It's over. No worries. No ill will. I don't carry grudges. Didn't even have one to begin with. I was not surprised when I read the emails. I knew what you were doing all along. I was surprised at some of the language. When you say you're undercover, had you actually been undercover and trying to take down Sconie, when he gave you directions, you would have came and told us, instead of acting on those directions. See, the proof is you acted for him directly. Had you been trying to take him down, you just said, hey, this is what Sconie wants me to do. How can we all get him? The proof's in your behavior. You weren't working undercover. You were working for him. You really expect anybody to believe this? I've been saying this all week. You weren't undercover. He gave you directions. You took the directions. We have proof of this. Nice try, though. We have been talking to people about this so there would be accountability. We've been saying all along, he's going to keep trying to say he was undercover. Once again, the proof is in your behavior that you worked directly for Sconie. I'm not here to teach anybody a lesson. I'm not here to tell anyone to take sides, do this or the other. You should like this person, you shouldn't like that person. You will never hear those things from me. I absolutely have opinions on certain people. I'm not going to tell you who to like and who not to like, or who to talk to and who not to talk to. I don't like Sconie. If you're messing with him, I will not mess with you. I don't trust him. Yes, I would like to see his channels go away. I have spent some time there. Not as much as some of you, but I've spent some time there. He's hard-headed. He's resistant. If we were strategic and actually worked together instead of bringing a bunch of personal bullshit into these situations, it'd be a lot easier. But some people want to keep things going. That's fine. I'm not going to keep beating a dead horse. That's fine. You've had my number. You've had my address. Nothing changes. I'll still be here. If I've done all these terrible things and I've worked for Sconie, it wouldn't be hard to prove. Prove it. You've had months to prove that. There is no proof because it never happened. I haven't even had time to mess with him because of this. I'm going to get back to that. So, no ill will, no grudges, no nothing. I see you in a comment section, I ain't going to mess with you. Because you're doing your thing. And if you leave me alone, that's great. But I won't be doing videos because it's over. I'm done with it. Once again, let's deal in facts, but let's deal in what can be proven. Hearsay, opinion, is only going to take you so far. You're the same guy that's trying to say that a school employed a sex offender, a registered sex offender. Do you hear yourself? I don't know what world you live in, but yeah, that's not going to happen in the state of Ohio. I can guarantee you that much. I don't know how it works in New York, not in Ohio. Lies begot more lies. They will always begot more lies. Truth begots truth. And maybe truth can bring us some peace and happiness, and maybe can shut someone up we've been trying to shut up. I don't know. Y'all want to keep playing games? Play games. We're going to do us regardless. So, for those of y'all that stood up for us, for you guys that stood in comment sections, thank you. Thank you very much. Some of you I barely even know. And you're in there getting talked to crazy. You didn't even do nothing wrong. Thank you for standing up for us and what's right and for the truth, instead of someone who's trying to continue to place the blame on other people. I don't know where this thing goes. I don't know where it leads, but I'll continue to do what I do. You ain't going to hear me talking in opinion and talking in hearsay. You definitely won't see me blaming other people for my actions. You see, you make fun of me for being a felon. Part of being a felon, when you're sitting in front of a judge, there is no one to blame. I can't even blame the drugs anymore. I did those things. I have to take responsibility for my actions, or it'll always be someone else's fault. Yeah, that won't get you very far. Good luck with all that. But at some point in our lives, if we take responsibility for our actions, maybe we can grow. Maybe we can change. Maybe we can do something. So, take everything I said and try to turn it around and try to make fun of me, try to find some way to say I'm an idiot, and I don't know what I'm talking about, and see how that works for you. But once again, thank you to all of you that reached out. you to all of you that supported us through everything. Much love from Dayton, Ohio.